Good afternoon all. Now I am continuing my video lecture based upon database management systems. I am continuing my previous video. Now it's a topic like schedules. Schedules in database management systems. A series of operation from one transaction to another transaction is known as schedules. It is used to preserve the order of operation in each of the individual transactions. Type of schedules. There are having a list types of schedules. Schedules like serial schedules and non-serial schedules. In non-serial schedules, it is serializable schedules and non-serial schedules. Serializable schedules are conflicts and views. Non-serial schedules are recoverable schedules and non-recoverable schedules. In recoverable schedules, cascading schedules, cascadeless schedules, strict schedules. These are the list of schedules in the schedules concept. Serial schedule is a type of schedules when one transaction is executed completely before starting another transaction. In the serial schedules, when the first transaction completes its cycles, the next transaction is executed. For example, if suppose there are two transactions T1 and T2 have some operations, if it have no interleaving of operations, then the operations have two possible outcomes. Executes all the operations of T1 which was followed by all the operations of T2. Execute all the operations of T1 which was followed by all the operations of T2. In the given Schedule A shows the serial schedules where T1 followed by T2. In a Schedule B shows the serial schedules where T2 followed T1. When first transaction T1 will be completed its cycle, then the next transaction will be taken place. Non-serial schedules, it is an interleaving of operations is allowed, then there will be no serial schedules. It contains many possible orders in which the systems can execute the individual operation of the transactions. Serial schedules. A serializability of schedules is used to find non-serial schedules that allows the transaction to execute concurrently without interfering one another. It identifies which schedules are correct when execution of transactions have interleaving of their operations. A non-serial schedules will be serializable if its result is equal to the results of its transaction executed serializely. And A schedule is we are having two operations A and B. When one operation T1 is completed with A and B read and write, and then T2 will be started. If T2 start with 1 read and write, and then T1 will be started next. Based upon a time, it will be schedule the operations. Cascading schedules, also called as avoid cascading, abort, rollback when there is failure in one transaction and this leads to a rollbacking or aborting other dependent transaction. Then such schedules is referred to as cascading rollback or cascading abort. Cascadeless schedules in which transaction read values only after all transactions whose changes they are going to read commit are called readless schedules. Avoid that is a single transactions abort leads to a series of transaction rollback. A strategy to prevent cascading abort is to disallow a transaction from reading uncommitted changes from another transaction in the same schedule. In other words, if some transaction Tj wants to read value updated or written by some other transaction Ti, then the commit of Tj must read it after the commit of Ti. If you are having an example here, when T1 is transaction 1, both read and write operation will be taken place. After that, the T2 will be write. If they commit, then the read of A will be happening in transaction 2. Strict schedules. A schedule is strict if for another two transactions Ti, Tj, if write operations of Ti precedes the conflicting operation of Tj, either read or write, then the commit or abort event of Ti also precedes the conflict operations of Ti. In other words, Tj can read or write updated or written value of Ti only after Ti commit or abort. If you are having any other operation, then they will not transact the another operations in the rollback operation. If it is recoverable schedules but it does not avoid cascading aborts, it can be seen that if T1 abort, T2 will have to be abort too. In order to maintain the correctness of the schedules, as T2 has already read the uncommitted values written by T1. This is a strict schedule and updated schedules also. This schedules is a cascadeless. This is the updated value of A is read by B. T2 only after the updating transaction T1 commits. If we commit the T1, then the next T transaction T2 will be taken place by the read operation. Thank you.